Hello, Reverend Crystal Cox here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about doing what you love. I've talked to you folks about this many times, but I just want to stress how important it is for you to do what you love. So it's not about your kids, it's not about your relatives, it's not about anybody in your life telling you what you should do. It's about doing what you love. That is what the Holy Spirit wants you to do. That is what you came here to do. If you're not doing what you love, you're not doing your purpose here on earth. What you love is what is basically your plan and your mission of what you're supposed to be doing here on earth. So if you have a job that you don't love, you're kind of contributing to something you didn't come here to contribute to. So why is it so hard to do what we love every day? Why is it so hard to do what we love for money? Why is it so hard to do what we love and to just ignore the opinion of those we love, or religious leaders, our kids? You know, why is it so hard to do what we love?
Because we've never been encouraged.
By who? I don't need permission.
By our parents, by our schooling, by our systems, by the work system, by the job system. So from the very youngest age, not only have we not been encouraged, we've watched our parents that weren't encouraged, who were not encouraged by their parents.
Dead man walking, sort of.
So it's kind of gone through each family. So that it's as if life is about not enjoying and not loving and not doing what we
But they look at doing their job and bringing home the money and the food as love for their offspring and their wives.
Duty. I think there's more duty involved than love.
Right. They look at
because
duty,
it's turned that way. Because it's not nowadays. We're not even just like we're assuming we're just bringing home the money for food, and for some people this is a true case. But we're actually bringing home money so we can go on holiday, so we can buy designer clothes, so we've upped our lifestyle, so that even those living on a limited lifestyle still have got huge expectations of what love is, which seems to be material objects.
Right.
So we have to work, work, work. We've kind of created this monster of a system that we are now prisoners to,
right,
in the same place. So we have to uncreate that
and
in ourselves,
trickles down,
and it will trickle through the whole system.
The love of our kids, how our kids love us, love of relationships, all of love ends up in that, because we spend so much time working at something we don't love to give our people things they do love, and we lose heart, and love gets thrown out of everything.
Yeah, so love's been taken away from source, from inside, from a feeling, from a connection, from sitting with your child reading a story, from going for a walk, to the latest gadget, to childcare, to all the things that bog us down. But we created that too. We have to take back our power, that we can create a life of love, based on love, and the idea of love. So we re-educate ourselves. So our children growing up knowing they were more important than the need to produce something.
Because when you retire, you realize you've spent all your time at work for them, and they don't even know you, like the traditional men.
And they're going to have so many hang-ups with you because you weren't there. And you were there thinking you were loving, because that's how you've been educated by this system that just wants you to be a robotic worker and not questioning.
But if you were living in poverty and just hugging your kids every day, it'd be better for everybody.
I think I've been to some very poor countries, and that is the most they can give their children. And there's such a connection, and the families are so much more connection, and the less that they actually have and own. And I don't mean this to sound like, oh yeah, you're coming from this comfortable position, you know.
You're not saying that you can't have money and love. You're saying that if your job is based just on making money, and you're not spending time with those you love, you know, you're really...
And what you kind of unwittingly do, the more money you make, the higher your lifestyle costs.
Right.
So when you're not making much money, and the money you are making, say in a poorer country, you are looking to feed your children. You are simply looking to try and get them a roof over their head. And you're more connected. There is more connection, and the children are more connected, and they have more responsibility from such a young age, but not a heavy responsibility. A responsibility that their parents love them, and they're doing everything they can to keep them fed. And I'm not saying that's the ideal way of life, and I don't think it is.
They don't, like in America, they don't seem to leave home till they're like 25, and they don't really appreciate what the parents are doing. They're not involved in the family businesses.
Because total responsibility for living is taken away from them in the wrong way.
Right.
It's in a way of, we're going to replace love with all these gadgets.
And to me, the basic consciousness of Mother Earth and her people is severely stunted by people sitting in jobs that they don't like. All that, I hate my job, I can't wait till Friday, I can't do this till the weekends, and their whole, every day should be your job, every day should be love, every day should be all things. And when that's separated and you hate it, you're creating a vibration that's the opposite of love.
And it's almost impossible to get out there because it creates a misery inside that almost wants you to inflict it on the next generation. Well, I wasn't happy. Why should they be?
Right.
But that's not always conscious. Sometimes it is conscious.
And it's addictive too.
And it's their, like, their daily mantra.
Right. Well, we witnessed that the other day with someone saying they have no work ethic. So each generation they want, if you work hard, then you prove to the other generation that you're worthy.
That you were worthy.
But you don't have to work.
Money
can come to you from many, many different directions. You can just, you can paint, you can pray, the Great Spirit can send money from any reasons. Those having to work your fingers to the bone and work at something you hate is not a value that I want anything to do with.
And it's nothing to do with love. It's completely the opposite. It's taken away any freedom to just be a family, to be loved. And that kind of takes you into a topic that, what if everyone had a basic income? Then they could have some family values. They could have some self-value.
It'd take a long time to do that too, because right now, like if there was a basic income in America, most people would not know what to do.
And that's like kindergarten, okay? So a child, you take a child's born into this world, it doesn't know what to do. But you give it that little bit of time, you give it a few, interesting things, you take it to the beach, it goes straight into doing something. We can learn to do that and it wouldn't take
it takes a few weeks, like in Hawaii, to let your hair down and just chill out.
And you can do this thing where, wow, I don't know what to do today, right? I'm going to go, I'm going to go down and look in these.
But with the basic income philosophy is that those that are driven can keep working and keep doing business, keep driven. They just don't have to have the fear or the slave confinement of knowing they have to do a job they hate to survive. So they don't have the fear of their basic survival. They can still create and do as much as they want. They don't have to go sit on the beach and
every single hour that they worked before. And also what it does stop creating, which is really negative, is this idea that someone else is getting something for nothing.
They hate
because
that.
if everyone gets something because they are valued as a human being,
unconditional human being,
don't grow up with that feeling that I'm going to do better on the back of someone else, and that's what our society encourages.
And so many people are afraid of a basic income because they're like what you said earlier, I did this, and so you have to do it too, and you don't deserve it to be handed to you because I worked too hard for it. And that's not how it works in the Holy Spirit.
Not in the Holy Spirit, not in love.
That's not about love. And love is God, goddess. In its purity, I think.
And I think that's one of the ways that we can work our way back to love is by giving ourselves more time. By giving ourselves the basic income.
Time with ourselves.
We made money. Let's take the power back. Let's share it.
Instead of giving hundreds of billions of dollars to war and to banks.
It doesn't belong to anyone else. It belongs to us as much as to anyone. We invented it.
They have people thinking that if you have money, you don't necessarily have spirituality, and clinging to the Bible and saying that money is bad, while the bankers and everybody make billions of dollars and keep you a slave, and you don't even have time to spend with your family, let alone know yourself.
And I mean, love is abundance. Abundance is money. Money's it's just symbolic of the amount of energy that's available. And we've made a token system so that we can recognise certain areas, like that's worth this much, that's worth... But it's not actually worth that. Money is free. Money is on this planet. Everyone that gets given money spends it on this planet. So they don't take it off to Mars and everyone else gets less money.
It's more important when, men that went to school and they're lawyers and they've done all this business versus the women that have spent 20, 30 years at home being a homemaker. And that's kind of changed over time, but it's still kind of valued more. It's like, what can be more valuable than loving your children?
If you know the cost of everything, you don't know the value. You just don't know the value, and we want to go back to value. Money can still be used as a token system because it can work, but not if you don't have love at the basis of it.
Well, I agree. That's a good place to end this video.
Good, thank you.
God has blessed you all. Thanks for listening.